Hello, good evening. Is everyone here who's coming? So, welcome to the RBS and welcome to the RBS Open Doors Days. Today we're going to talk about the master programs, more specific about executive and professional MBA programs. And we would like to say if you are already here, then you're ready to start some journey. So we want to encourage you more to start and continue this journey. And as well, it's also give you a good opportunities, not only for the leadership, but also for spirit innovation, adaptability, and global outlook to see. Through the evening, you will meet the RBS team members. You will network also with our alumni who will give a speech about the program and their experience here at RBS. And also Santa Praulja will talk about the EUI Act. So today's program will start with Nelia Titova, who is the director of Executive and Professional MBA program. Claudia Rivera, who is the Bachelor Program Director and also lead of the Career Development Practical at Professional MBA program. Daiga Ergle, who is the same position holding for the Executive MBA program, is also Executive MBA program lead. Then alumni. Edgar Sanelin will talk about their experience at RBS and what RBS has given to them. Questions and answers. And then Santa will talk about the EUI Act. So welcome, Nelia. Floor is yours. And she'll tell you more about the program.
That's how we do. Okay. Yes, so my name is Nelia Titova, and I'm director of MBA Executive MBA programs. I will tell today in brief about the programs. I have also talked with many people already, and I see also them here. So today, what? Please. Technical. So you were lucky to hear everything.
That's why it makes sense to have offline.
Rada?
Yeah.
I will hold it like this. Now, this doesn't work. Good. Now, when I have both working in my hands, let's continue. So for those who don't know, that's a short story of RBS in the school. It was founded by three parties, Riga Technical University, University of Ottawa, and University of Buffalo, United States and Canada. And over these years, the school has undergone extensive, rapid development. And as you see, MBA program, Master of Business Administration, and later Executive MBA program were one of the first to start, as well as English Center. So if we look at years, we understand that next year, Executive MBA program will celebrate 25 years, and Professional Master of Business Administration program help me 33 years, 34 years next year. So it means that it is long-standing partnership and also stable and developing program. As you see also over the years, there are so many other programs and components, initiatives and projects came along, and our academic programs are definitely gaining from this, because from the projects and from all kind of cooperations and partnerships, we can also integrate in the program components of like content or content injections or experience exchange or courses or modules or topics, especially when we speak about up-to-date developments in the markets or in science or in industries. So, Professional Master of Business Administration program has three specializations and one general specialization. So those who are coming for business administration and thinking more in the direction of marketing, finance, in information technologies can find it here, selecting courses for during the studies. The studies are 2.5 years. And master thesis. And for this program, one of the eligibility criteria is at least 2 years of working experience. So we're speaking about people who already know the already have real experience in the companies. And what is very special about RBS, we have trimesters here, not semesters, as many schools do for autumn and spring, but trimesters. And again, if you can compare with other educational programs where you have to take 6 courses per semester, here we're speaking trimesters, and from 2 to 4, usually 2 on average courses per trimester. So it's spring, summer, autumn, and it allows our students to combine it with a job. It's in the evening, courses are in the evening, and it's really flexible for working people. Executive Master of Business Administration, and you can already guess by the word executive, it's executive level, executive format of the program, where eligibility criteria is at least 5 years in managerial position. So it means we're speaking about managers, executive C-level people. And here the format is not in the weekends, working weekends, but we are speaking here about 3 days a month on average, and it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That allows people in leading positions to combine again work and studies, as Saturday is 3 days. So we're speaking about, let's really make a sound here, right? That we are speaking about 2 working days a month that you really have to devote to studies, with exceptions for first week and one in August, and international and European trips. This program is, if we speak professional MBA, the modules are mostly in Riga. When we speak about executive MBA level, we bring groups to other countries also for studies. What is common for both programs? English language, number of core and elective subjects, courses, international faculty, case studies, and again, what is very special about RBS, we have a requirement for average a grade of 8 for every course. It means that coming to defense of master thesis, average means you can have 6 for one course or 10 for another, but we calculate average for the courses, and it has to be 8. It correlates, it's not only grade thing, definitely not, it correlates with equality, it correlates with the excellence requirements and standards. So, tuition fees. Again, I would really stress that it's really friendly system here as for payments. Each course, as you see, year 1 is €825, And when I'm often asked how to pay in one installment, 2 installments, by quarters, how? The idea here is that if in one trimester student takes 2 courses, then student pays for 2 courses. So we multiply this sum per course per 2, and that's what you have to pay. So if total tuition per program is 13,000, then you do not have to pay 13,000, or half of it 7,000. So we go course by course cumulative. And that also is a relief for some people who cannot pay 10,000 immediately. So you go with the flow. And for non-EU residents, as you see, there are different requirements. Tuition fee per year is 10,200. And here we speak about also migration requirements. We have to ensure that people from non-EU countries coming to you stay here. So this payment is way of guarantee that next month there is no next move to Germany or further. So there is a first year payment. For executive MBA, as I thought that we already get executive level of education there and also trips. We have a study fee of 33,000 per program. And as you see, we have also early bird. If students apply till 16th of September was this year. We start in January. Then the study fee is 29,700. There are small fees for registrations. What's important to say is that there are a number of discounts. So if it's RBS alumni or first degree relative or member of our partners, the chambers, then it's 10%. And RBS supporting government sector, diplomatic sector, and NGOs offers up to 50%, up to half of the study tuition fee for involved in these sectors, employed in these sectors. Application deadline for both programs is December 5th. We start in January for both professional MBA cohort and executive MBA group. And for international students, we have early deadlines, again, because of migration requirements. And what we are developing now, as the program is constantly developing and we see many things coming in, like AI, we are in AI studio. So we work on components of AI in every subject, almost every subject, where we can do this. We go international. So in this picture, you can definitely see symbolically many things we have integrated in the program. You can guess how many. So if you see here Africa continent, then that is the module we are developing for the Spring for Executive MBA program. And here again to say that it's not our just a wish to do this. We have already for several years partners in Africa, and there are several programs implemented for our partners in Africa, and it's already trusted partnerships that is now helping us to develop the new model for sustainable business models there. So I think I will give a floor to the next speaker.
Yes. RBS is constantly innovating and working on the progress of the programs and also that they can be up to date. At the same time, we're also working on personal and career development. And Claudia will talk about that topic for the Professional MBA program. Claudia, floor is yours.
Good. So we have people online, right? So I need to use it. So good evening, everybody. And yeah, so it's around 10, 12 years now. So we, in Riga Business School, we started to get a little bit more personal with the people. So with the students that come here. And that was part of the it was like a consequence of what happened in 2008. In 2008, there was a big financial crisis all around the world, and many people heard about Lehman Brothers and things like that. And there has been a lot of question about what business schools were doing. Why, those people that were leading those companies at the end of the day brought those companies to where they should not be. And there has been a lot of soul searching among business schools. So what are the graduates that we are producing, right? And Riga Business School as well, that we always try to, as already Nelia said, so we have a lot of these international contacts. We have been established by universities in Canada and United States. So we always have been looking to what other peoples are doing well and that we can replicate here. So we started as some new courses. Two of them are the ones that we will present it now, one by Daiga, that is Leadership Development Practicum, and we have some people that went through that already, that is in the Executive MBA program. And we also have the Personal Career Development. And the Personal Career Development, we run it once every 2 years, more or less, and it's an elective course. A lot of people take it. And we have quite a good reputation of the fact that many of the people that go through the course, they change their jobs after this course. So it's a course that is created for people that are in the MBA program to actually create a vision for their own careers and life in the long run. So a lot of research and a lot of what we see in reality is that the best manager you have is those managers that are happy with their careers. So there is a huge correlation between happiness and career performance. Okay? And there is a huge correlation between happiness and resilience when bad things happen in career. And there is a huge correlation between happiness and career transitions, career changes. So, and these are things that happen to everyone. So now we say that all of us will have in the lifespan of our careers at least 6 completely different careers. And each one of those careers has a lot of changes. So you have a lot of transition between those 6 careers. So the crucial thing is to be very good at moving from one career to another, but also moving through the different changes that you have in that career. Now, this comes from Stanford, and this is something we deal with a lot during the course. So all of us, over a period of a couple of years, sometimes even during 1 year, sometimes even shorter, hopefully not, because otherwise we get crazy, we go through 3 types of transitions, 3 types of changes. So there are changes that happen. The first one is role. So sometimes we change the position where we are in the company, we change the department, we change the team, we change the project. So these are role changes. Then sometimes we also have changes in the business side. So we change the type of projects where we are, the business unit, or we change the company. And many of the people that come to the MBA program, they come with the idea to actually move away from corporate careers to start their own businesses. And that's a business transition. And many people go during the 1 year or during few years, and many times connected with the roles transition, the business transitions, through personal transitions. So something happened, children, marriage, changing of cities, etc. So most of the time we have all these 3 transitions together, and one of them is the most important in one moment. So the big difference between our careers and the careers of our parents and our grandparents is that this transition happen very often right now, okay? So people go through many transitions. In fact, we are talking about that we are living in the liquid society. So it's a society where there are a lot of changes. So our MBA students, when they come, they go through these transitions all the time. So this course is about helping our students to create a sort of business plan for their careers that combines, a little bit of art, inspiration, a little bit of engineering, structure, okay, and always keeping flexibility and strength at the same time. So at the end of the day, if we teach people to create business plans or strategies for companies and products, why do we not help them create a strategy and a business plan for their careers? Okay, so that's what we do in this course. So in this course, we help our students to set up long-term goals, short-term goals, understand the competencies they need, and create a plan for that. So when we talk, I've been in this business for many years, in the business also of coaching and leadership training. So when we talk with a lot of people and then you ask them, what's the reason why they are not satisfied with their work or what will happen between work and career? Most of the time they talked about work environment. So they will tell you, my boss is a jerk, my colleagues, they don't know what to do. There is a lot of uncertainty in the context, and most of the time it's true. So when you look at what happened in the context, most of the time things are not perfect. All the time things are not perfect. But in reality, our career performance and our satisfaction with career depends on much more than the work environment. So a big part of the course is to help our students to understand that the main responsibility of their performance, satisfaction, and resilience is not on their bosses and the culture, but on themselves. So it's giving responsibility over the satisfaction with their careers. And it's so good when someone goes to the company the next day and you feel that you are responsible for your own career and your boss has no say in it. So we help our students to create careers that they are not dependent on their bosses and their companies where they work. And that's empower people. That's make a lot of empowerment. So I remember one of the students that came to the program, she went to her boss and said, I'm going to take the personal career development course that her boss has taken before. And said, okay, maybe you will change your career after. Because this is, certainly it helped the people to actually think about that. And there has been a lot of changes. Not everyone changed. Actually, one of the companies where we do quite a lot of training right now, there was a student there, and she decided, this is my company. So after taking the course, this is the career I want, and this is the company where I want to work for the future. And they even brought us to the company to work with them. So we do a lot of reflection, a lot of journaling, a lot of type of teamwork, discussions. So because it's very important for people to think, reflect, articulate, and share. So it's much more easy to think about something so complex when you put it in writing. So it's much easier. So we get a lot of, we have done improvisation theater, we have done movies, we make people write stories about themselves, but also we are very practical. So we use a lot of methodologies that have been created in Harvard and Stanford, and they mix all the time these two things. So they mix inspiration, and they are very concrete on what you do. But we do a lot of inspiration, right, as well. And you might think, oh, this is very soft. Well, there is a lot of very good research about these topics. The worst manager is the unhappy manager. The unhappy manager is the worst manager you can have. So someone that is very secure, safe, and feel confidence where he is or she is, so it's a very good man. So it's going to be very strong. It's going to have a lot of resilience. These are some, there are a lot of what we call meta-analysis, a lot of research that do research of research and surveys of surveys, and they all come to the same. So the strongest people in careers in the long run are people that are very good in their personal life and know how to combine both and have a very strong career plan. So we based quite a lot on a book that we wrote. So this course became a book over the years. So we do a lot of assessments. We help people to evaluate career options. We help people to develop their career plans. And at the end of the day, it's like creating a business plan for their careers. Okay, so it's a 14 weeks, very strong experience that is very, very practical with a lot of reflection, and it's a little bit of group coaching at the end. Okay. And this is not me. This is
Thank you, Claudio.
Welcome. I will stay a little bit.
Next one is Daiga Ergle. She's an executive MBA program lead. As well, she's working as a head of HR, the customization group. And she will tackle the same question for executive MBA program. Floor's yours.
I actually have only one slide for the sake of difference. For me personally, there are three core pillars of the MBA experience for the students at our school. Two of those are in place for both programs, Professional MBA and also Executive MBA, and one of them is exclusive for Executive MBA. So the first one is fantastic network that you build here throughout your study years. I think both Selina and also Edgar can confirm that. And those networks stay basically for life, let's say. Business networks, personal networks. The second pillar is faculty who are also practitioners, because when you teach business, different business functions, I think it's extremely important to know that business, to have your hands on that practical experience, how to deal with this specific function, be it finance, marketing, HR, whatever. Myself, I am also teaching here at the business school is my professional hobby, as I'm saying, because my day job, I'm an HR manager for all my life in different companies, Air Baltic for finance, now the customization group, global HR also. The concepts that I talk about during the courses, during the studies, I've tested and tried. I've seen them happening, observed, analyzed, so I can share what works, what doesn't work, and in various situations. And same is true for most of our faculty. So I think that's great value for the students. And the third one is exclusive for Executive MBA program, and that is leadership development program. And we have really unique concepts, I must say, because leadership is a journey. I mean, none of us, doesn't matter how many years we work and then lead other people. I think myself, I have at least 20 years of experience leading bigger and smaller teams and international teams. Never ready. Always there is an occasion to say, wow, I thought I'm never gonna see something new. I've seen it all. I know it all, how to deal with each and every situation. And then booms, somebody surprises you. And then you have a new experience. So you are never established, never ready as a leader. You have to keep your open mind and keep your learning hat on all the time. And that doesn't happen in after you read a book, not even if you read 100 books. That doesn't happen, out of 2 days course training that your company is setting up and sending you for 2 days leadership training, maybe somewhere in the woods. Fantastic, but doesn't make you a better leader. Even, a week-long course wouldn't do that for you. For the really meaningful, significant changes to happen in terms of how we are as leaders, it takes a few things. First of all, we need to understand very well who we are ourselves. And we sometimes get surprised when we are forced to dive deeper into that, who we are. Then where we want to be. So who we are, what can we do right now, what is our leadership competence, where we want to be, what we want to achieve, how we want to be as a leader, what's the gap. and then how to bridge that gap. And for that, you also need a supportive network that is with you over a longer extended period of time. And that supportive network and extended period of time we are offering here during our executive MBA programs, leadership development program or practicum. Because you start at the beginning of the studies, diving deeper into your own personality, understanding yourself as a leader. So that's the first block that we offer during the first semester. No, it's not semester, where actually you try to discover your authentic leadership style, because leadership, it's not universal. You can't be like universal best leader. You can't be something else. If you try to do that, you are set up for a failure, for dissatisfaction, for whatever. You need to discover who are you as a leader? What's your authentic style? And then you can, fine tune it and shape it and test it and train it into the direction where with your own personal leadership strengths is you can manage and influence each and every situation, other people, achieve your goals, and so on and so forth. So the first module goes into understanding ourselves. There's 360 degrees feedback. I hope you all know what is it. So basically, you get a feedback from your boss, your colleagues, your subordinates, either current or previous. So that's something that we do as an exercise at the beginning of your leadership studies. And then from that, you can build your own personal development plan. So what you want to achieve based on that insight that you are able to see. So the whole blog goes around that. Then the second one is looking into your teams, understanding your teams, how to work with my team. How are other people? How do I differently approach different types of people in different situations, and so on and so forth. Again, there is a number of exercises, tests that are helping you, making the whole process a bit more fun at the end of the day, but also adding a lot of value and equipping you with the tools to be more successful back at your workplaces when you are planning to achieve your results with the hands and brain of other people, how to influence them. Then the third module is about the workplace, the organization, how to basically build and shape the high-performing organization. What are the tools and tactics for influencing your workplace, not only your team that is under your sort of direct influence, but also people around, your colleagues, the management team, your bosses, managing upwards, managing horizontally, and so on and so forth. And then the last block, as we are really committed to prepare you here for a lifelong successful careers and to build you as contributors to the better society at large. So there's the last block where you talk more about the responsibility and the role of a business or organizational leader in the bigger society, local community, country, maybe globally. How do you work? What are the principles? What are the approaches? How the world is built, and how you can find your place there to change something, small or bigger, but really have your imprint on that global canvas through your leadership strengths. Throughout all those 4 modules, you have different faculty, different teachers who are helping you, leading you through those modules, but then you also have in the background, you have to do a lot yourself. So you do your reviews of your critical leadership events, that have built you up to who you are today, and how you have come to that place. And then you also do a lot of reflections. You write your essays. You work with your development plan, and get a certain opportunity for coaching with again faculty members and so on and so forth. So that's the leadership development program, which what I've heard. I don't know, maybe Elina, you can comment on that later on. But very often I've heard from our current and also ex-students that that is the one of the biggest values that they've been taking out of their school experience, and that's something that is really oftentimes influencing, changing the path forward, and having great impact on personal life and also career life. Well, that's so much about leadership.
Thank you, Daiga.
And then I have to switch the slide to the next one, yeah?
Yes. We will continue with our former student experience. Our professional MBA alumnus, Edgars Rubenis, who is at the moment business development manager at Latvijas Mobilais Telefons. And maybe he will tell more about the program and how it aligns with the program, and maybe what program has give him or take from him. The floor is yours.
I'll try. Yeah, so hi everyone, my name is Edgar. As was already introduced, I am currently a business development manager at LMT. However, as far as RBS has been aware of me, I've been also in other positions, for example, in Ministry of Defense, in Rail Baltica project, and LMT. Somehow, when I was thinking about what I'm going to say to you, I didn't realize, but I did now, that all of these three organizations somehow magically decided in this year to be very much in the news. I don't know if there's a correlation with me, but hard to say. I hope not. But if you want to, give me a call. But just to put everything into perspective so that we all see things somewhat similar during what I'm going to tell, I started studying in RBS during 2018. And to put the perspective, it was as follows. I was just started working at the MOD, just being almost 2 years, which for a government organization isn't that much. I had just went through a personal catharsis of basic military training where they took you, turned you inside out, and showed you that you can do a lot more than you thought you can. And then with all of this extra power, I'm thinking, God, gee, I want to do a lot of good things, but I don't know how. And I started looking at where I can actually learn these. And through my previous experiences, I had some NGO experience before. I knew about RBS. I came to just an event just like this. Following this discussion, I decided I'm going to do it. It wasn't easy for multiple reasons. I'll explain why. One of them was financial, but as already was explained, to be fair, the system here is very friendly financially compared also to others, especially if you consider the, so to speak, bang for the buck that you get. Effectively, I would say this is the best investment I've done in my life studying here. Definitely. But why did I choose RBS? I started a little bit, but overall in a little bit deeper. So I wanted to learn, not to study. I had previous experience with the master's program in a traditional Latvian university. I won't tell which one. But let's just say after a semester, I decided to leave because I just didn't see it worth my while. So I had an allergy for master's, let's say, studies overall. But RBS changed that. And second of all, why I chose RBS is this modular approach, how you can choose which lectures do you take, because my life was very full at the time with a lot of work, a lot of extracurricular activities, and somehow trying to fit a full master's, especially with the amount of information that needs to be studied to actually be good at something, I thought is going to be challenging. RBS system, in my thoughts at the time, and I can confirm it was correct, gave the opportunity to combine uncombinable things into the 24/7 of life that we have. But how did I went through this? As you can see, I have a thing that I'm looking at. So the main story is always have a plan. I have a plan here that I'm using to talk to you. And that will be one of the points that I mentioned. But actually one of the, and it's somewhat ironic that it's a practical thing to prepare for, is prepare your families for what you're about to do. Because let's be honest, it's going to take a lot of time if you want to do it right. And you trust me, you definitely want to do it right. You want to study as much as you can, as best as you can, interact in the same way pretty much. But you need to have someone on your back, helping you, keeping you on the road, and also not, let's say, not allowing you to slack, because yeah, you can't really slack here. You can't get that 8 at least, so to speak. So the way it worked, let's say for me, I was single at the time, also due to studies, because every time that I had some free time, I either did my military stuff or I studied. I had quite a few at the time girlfriends say that I was cheating because I never spent time with them, because every weekend I was sitting and reading the 50 plus pages that I had to read just to get ready for my next week's class. And to be fair, I didn't feel bad about it. Maybe a shame for them, but for me, definitely it was very good because I really liked what I was reading. All the subjects, all the books, all the materials were just mentally stimulating me so much that time just whizzed away, and I wish I would have had more. The next point that I would say is to make up for that time, for all the time that you want to read, for all the time that you have to spend also in lectures and with teams working. It wasn't really as prominent at the time. Maybe it's a little bit more now, but definitely I suggest don't use any more physical books or that kind of way. Do everything digital. The way I didn't actually start it at the start, and that is why I want to mention this, because I suggest that you do it from day one. A Google Drive file or something like that, where you just simply write all of your study notes in. Why? Because after the lectures, when you're reading the book, you can add the images that you need for reference to remember this point. You can also add your own thoughts on this. For one of the subjects, I don't remember which one, this was the task. I think it was actually Naigus, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong, but one of the subjects definitely had that, where we had to drew up a learning journal, and to show it off. I think it was Niagara, right? Yeah. So that kind of taught me that, oh, this is actually a good thing. I should have been doing this a long time ago. And now, after the few years that I finished studying in 2021, after a few years, still occasionally I take a look into those, what I was writing then. Obviously, then I'm thinking, what the hell did I write here? But then again, quite a few places I see, okay, that was the idea. Okay, let me look it up in the book, and then, okay, I can solve it like this. Good, let's keep going. So definitely, this is my second practical suggestion. Do everything digital, editable, that you can work even after you're done with studying. Then going back to plans. Now, with those two previous things, you have the family in place, you're ready to go digital, you have to have a plan of studying, because usually we're used to just being handed a system. Here, you have to go to these lectures, study, and you just flow through it with no control yourself. However, here it's slightly different, and by slightly I mean completely 180. You have to control how you study. I do understand there's a little bit of change since I was studying, and that will be explained most probably. But for example, I knew a guy who was studying here before. I took his notes on which lectures he took in which semester, and I used that as the basis to create my own plan. And then every semester, when there was new subjects coming up, I was looking against this plan and thinking, okay, do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? That was the good part of my plan. The bad part of my plan was that for some reason, I decided that I wanted all the core things first, totally forgetting about the optional part. There might be a big problem with this, but again, you explain if it's changed to fix this problem, that if you take all the cores at the start, then let's say when you actually want to choose something you want, it might not be available in those specific semesters. That is kind of the reason why, instead of starting in 2018 and finishing in 2020 effectively, it took me a little bit longer, because I had to take a few semesters either with just one subject, or one semester was specifically without, because I simply didn't have what I wanted to study at the time. Which brings me to the second asterisk to this problem. You can actually take more than the minimum 15 courses. Again, coming from the old mentality of this is the system, follow it, I didn't think about it. Had I known, and I found out it only when I started writing my master's thesis, when it was too late, that you can actually take more and study more and find out more and be better, which is a shame that I didn't know, but maybe now is your chance. It might seem counterintuitive. It's going to cost me more. But again, this is a worthwhile investment, I can tell you from my experience. And definitely, the more you add here, the more you will take later out in your life, be that professional, personal, NGO, or otherwise, wherever you decide to work, and add to the benefit of the society. The next thing that I definitely suggest, and I'm going, as you can see, from bigger to smaller ones, definitely take any course that is being given by Greg Mathers. Those were my favorite lectures that I've heard in my entire life. Every second year, I'm thinking, maybe I should come back and ask, just to listen one more time, leadership course. I really like that. Greg has a special place in my heart, if I may say so. His teaching style is phenomenal. Most probably, if I'd had the chance, I'd work for the guy. But indeed, that opened a lot of doors in my head, so to speak, as in things that I thought don't work, why they don't work, I don't understand. His courses on organizational behavior and leadership put things in the right places. So now, okay, maybe it's not exactly all wrong in the world. It's just slightly different. And if I turn my head a little bit around, I can try to fix these things where I am as much as I can, or at least try to nudge people towards the right direction. So definitely, that is a recommend, and I understand Greg is definitely still doing things, and even more maybe, hopefully, in the future. And one of my personal, I would say, failure/victories during studies, my master thesis. Daigo will not be able to lie, I hope, but it goes like this. During your studies for each semester, try to be as proactive as you can. Try to do as much and as best as you can, because that will give you the experience not to overreach during your master's thesis. This is what I did. I had an idea that what I'm going to do for master thesis in my organization. My organization said nope. So I had to come up with a plan B, and the plan B was still slightly wrong. Too ambitious promise, then again, understanding that really what I said isn't quite possible or doesn't make sense from what I've been taught here. So again, try to do as much as you can during the lectures, during the courses work, trying to show yourself to the team, to the lecturers as well. And this brings me to one of my last points, which is actually taught also, I think, in Daiga's class. I really like human resources, apparently, is that, or maybe Greg even as well, weak ties in between yourselves and other course mates, lecturers, people who you work for will definitely in your life work hundreds of times more and better than strong ties with the best of your friends. Quantity in this particular case beats quality, which is ironic that the world is trying to do it the other way, but it is what it is. From my personal example, when I was studying still here, I was still at the Ministry of Defense. When I finished my studies, not in the same semester that I was finishing my master thesis, a course mate suggested me that I apply into the Rail Baltica project, which I did, and I went in through a little bit of recommendation. And then again, the same here, where I work now at LMT, also a contact, which literally comes from, let's say, these weak ties that I've had. Someone who I know a little bit here, someone who I know a little bit there. In this particular case, also a course mate from RBS, by the way, that said, oh, maybe apply here. You seem like the guy we might use. And voila, I am here. So definitely, that is a recommendation that I can give from my heart. And the last one, which I want to say, it's not 100% university, but it's a little bit of both university and life in general. All of this that was said before, make it 80% of your capacity. Leave another 20. You will need to rest. Definitely, you will need to rest because there's a lot of work to be done. But also, we live in a world currently which is not really as stable as we would want it to be. So there has to be that capacity to deal with any crises and anything else that is happening, be that actual physical crises, be that your personal ones, professional ones, or et cetera, et cetera. You have to have the spare capacity. Do so, and you'll be perfectly fine. That's it from me. Thanks.
Thank you, Edgar. I think you can also advise some students how to tackle their studies. The next one is Elena. She's the executive MBA alumni. And then understood from as I understood from Sanda, that she's at the moment in a career change. So as it was so much tackled with Claudia and Daiga, maybe Elena also can elaborate more on that. So floor is yours, Elena.
Yes, hi everyone. And I was sitting here and listening and felt like I was a perfect example on how you switch jobs when you are finishing or in your MBA degree, because like everything made sense. And this table that Claudio gave, yes, that's all about me currently. But now, yes, my background basically is in law. I'm a senior legal advisor in financial sector. My previous experience was in Central Bank of Latvia. Currently, I'm taking a small professional break, just having some time and then looking for new challenges. We'll be looking for some new challenges where to use this great experience that I've gained here. And yeah, I will just give not that detailed explanation, as Edgar already provided you with some very useful information. I will talk a bit about my experience in studying executive MBA. And well, this actually, for me personally, was more like some few years ago, it was a dream for me. I knew about this program. I was very impressed that there's such a program in Latvia available. But it was like, okay, this is some kind of dream. I will do that at some point in my life where I will feel ready for that. But then I tried to think about this more, and I felt like, what is the actual reason why I'm not doing that, right? And then I used this approach that I've been using this for several times already in my life, and I kind of turned this dream of mine into an actual goal. And first time I used this was actually my trip to New York some 10 years ago. I was thinking, oh, New York is some dream city, like I should go, and I will go sometime. But now, why? You have to turn it into a goal and actually achieve it. And we all know how to achieve goals, right? There are certain steps you do, you get there, you buy tickets, like do the first thing, right? And you are there. And that's what I did with these studies as well. I redefined them as a goal, and here I am, just graduated this year. So this was yes, a great experience for me. And of course, I would say that for each person, there's a certain time in their life that they would go through studies like this, either in younger age or older age, or when you feel right. But one more thing that I figured out during these studies is that you should actually start as soon as possible. Because the sooner you start, the minute you start, the day you start, you will start using what you learned. The first and the second days, like executive MBA studies started this week in January with Greg's lectures. And you get like from day one, you start understanding why are people acting like they do in your company, why the organizations are at that stage and not this stage, why it's not working, why you cannot achieve something that effectively. You start by that very moment. You can go back to the workplace the day after and start doing things differently. And it's not that when you will graduate, you will be smarter. No, you are doing all the things right at that moment. And this is especially important because these studies are really, really practical. And I mean, you are learning about companies in Latvia, companies in the world, actual business cases, how they solved some things, some situations. But actually, a lot of those cases will be about your organization. A lot of homeworks and a lot of projects you will have to do is about your organization. You will have to take a problem that there exists and you will have to analyze it through those concepts which are been given to you in these studies. But these are your things, your organizations, your things that you can change very, very fast after learning that. And in addition to that, you will get these like knowledge as a concepts and presentations, but also the lecturers, they are such great professionals that they will also be able to give their opinion on those problems, because as a part of this executive MBA education, it's actually a very small group of people within which you are discussing all those matters. So not only the lecturers will give their opinion, but the research you have to use as well is the teammates, the course mates you will have there. Because imagine, this is a group about maybe 10 people who are, each and every one of them are very high profile professionals in their own businesses and their own organizations or whichever. And they will be able to give you also feedback or their perspective or on those matters. So this is also something very, very useful to use, and also to see different perspectives to those things that you're talking about. Yes. Like, you only have your perspective, and you will get this opportunity to broaden it by this experience. And actually, there were some cases, and I remember I was sitting in Claudia's lectures about leadership. It was late Saturday afternoon, which means 3 intense days of studying. Like, you're really tired. But now I wasn't, because I felt like my brain was going, just opening up, because the things we were talking about, they are simple things, but the way it's put, you like feel like, whoa, what is happening? I just felt like simple things are being told in a completely different way, and thus opening up new ideas, new perspective, new things. And yes, walking home after the lectures, my brain was still thinking. And that is actually the value you get of that. Yeah, you broaden yourself, you broaden your knowledge, you broaden your experience by it. Talking about more practical things, maybe, as I already said, that this is a very practical education. And I know that a lot of people are afraid of having to read a lot of books and imagining that the book reading is going to be their study, the main way of studying. Well, for us, for executives, it wasn't that much reading books. Well, it's good that you read the book, don't get me wrong, but actually the tasks are more case-based. We are analyzing actual cases, discussing those cases, and analyzing actual your situations, as I said. So the books are great, but there are very many ways how to learn new things and how to get better on the way. Yes, I should probably mention the study trips that we had. Actually, second time I was in New York when we took a study trip to Ottawa University, and we took a very long way to get there. But once we got there, we had this week-long study trip in Ottawa University, Telfair Center of Executive Education. I won't go into details about what we actually did there, but the whole week was full of lectures in Ottawa, of visiting companies in Ottawa, of visiting some associations, some NGOs, to acquiring information that we needed in order to provide this final presentation. And we met so many people and so many business owners there, but on both international study trips. Actually, I would say that it is such a value, especially if you have a business that needs to be developed somewhere internationally. This is a great opportunity to network and to have those contacts right away. So to finish up, I will just give a couple of advices to those who are still thinking, maybe still haven't decided. To those people, I would say, just come study here. Don't hesitate, and don't put this off to another year when circumstances will be different. Now, let's start this winter, and it will change your life immediately. And the second thing is definitely use your network. Participate in all the events as much as possible. These are great people who will be around you, your teammates, your course mates, your professors, your alumni, because this community is very broad community, and this is something you should definitely use as much as possible. And the third thing, also very practical, those of you who will be studying an executive MBA, is to get a really good sleep before each day. This is also a very, very difficult suggestion to implement, because the last day before the studies, you always have your presentation to finish up, your case to read, your something to prepare, and everything. But I mean, get some sleep, because you will really need the energy and because you have to be there, really there. Once you're in the room, you won't be able to sleep there, or just you really have to be there. So be prepared. That's it from me. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Eileen. Before we go to the questions and answers, we would like to say a big thanks to our alumni that you found the time to come. And Sandra also has some small presents for you to give. So we are moving forward with the questions and answers. What you have heard so far, do you have any questions to us, to alumni, to Daiga, to Claudio, to Nelia? Not at the moment. Okay, then we go forward with Santa Paulinha. She's a senior associate at Saarinen, and she will tell you more updates about today's what is new in EU and with IE.
Yeah, so hi, I'm senior associate at Saarinen, as already mentioned. I'm also leading an AI work task group, which basically what we do is we research the AI regulation, and we are looking for options for our clients, how they should implement the AI regulation, and which are those I would say, complicated things that they should understand about the regulation. And we are trying to help to switch the business, which was previously not regulated. So, yeah, so the AI Act, hot potato in the EU law. At the moment, everyone is thinking about it, talking about it, but I must say that it's not an easy read. It's a long read, 144 pages. Usually we look about 70 pages, and that's already long. So this time they provided something that we can read for a long time. So, but we know, some maybe know, but now you will know that the AI Act is in force, but it's actually not applicable yet. So the fact that the law is applicable actually means that someone can come and penalize you for not being compliant to this legal act. So in this case, we have law in force, but not applicable. So the final deadline for applicability is August 2027, and we will basically the law will be applicable in small pieces. I don't know the specific reasons, but usually when such big law is implemented, it takes a lot of economical resources for the companies to be compliant. So therefore, usually the law comes into force, and then we have some time to get prepared our businesses for it. So the most important, of course, is penalties, which will be applicable from August 2025. So soon, but of course, the penalty will be only for those parts of the law that will be already applicable. So yeah, so we can go further. So basically, if this is for you something that you know that you have to look through, so you just have to follow for those chapters when they come into force. So what is AI actually? Regulated, but what it is. So we maybe know that, for example, before AI got so popular, we had, for example, analytical cookies. So what's the difference? So the difference is basically that previous systems that do something similar that AI do is actually that they do not learn and make new ideas about what they have learned. They only make decisions based on systems and information provided to them before. So they know that 2 + 2 is 4. And then when they see this 2 + 2, they know it's 4. What AI can do, in simple words, if you will tell AI that 2 + 2 is 4, it will make it will process the information and understand that, okay, and then 2 + 2 and additional 2 is going to be 6. So it learns and analyze the information and can make new decisions and provide you with new analysis that you have not trained the system to know. In AI Act, we have 3 different AI systems, which is ordinary AI system, high-risk AI system, and general AI models. General AI models we most likely all in this room use. It's, for example, ChatGPT. So it's AI model. AI systems at high risk will actually be regulated a bit more than any other solution of AI, because those are the systems that will be related to education, social matters, immigration matters, or internal affairs, and so on. So everything that can be recognized as important for us as a society it's defined as a high-risk AI system, and thus regulated a bit deeper and tighter for our safety. So to whom applicable? To everyone. Most regulation is related and aimed for AI solution providers, which makes sense because they will develop and provide for the society those solutions. So they are the first line where we need to reach. Those developers to get the systems in line with the law. But there is a couple of clauses in the law, a couple of articles that actually states that also using AI that is doing something that is forbidden with this AI Act can be penalized. So if you use, you can be penalized. So, but I will tell you more about this later. So, and also what is important is to understand I sometimes hear from the companies that, yeah, but it will not be applicable to us because we have an AI system developed in the company, but it's not for public use. We use it only in our company internally. So it doesn't matter. The law says if you're putting into service the AI, then this regulation is applicable to you. And putting into service actually in simple words mean that you have developed this system for your internal use of the company and your employees is actually using it. So as soon as they start to use it, you have to be compliant with the law. It's not only for those who put it in the market for a public use and a commercial benefit of it. So I mentioned the prohibited use of AI systems, and the idea is it's very complicated termination and long sentences, but in short, what is forbidden is to use the AI to manipulate consumers and natural persons, especially by using the vulnerabilities as, for example, age, disabilities, race, etc. So if you use those vulnerabilities to manipulate somehow the consumer and the natural person, then it is the prohibited AI use practice. And then even if you have not created the AI tool that is actually helping you to do it, you can be penalized for such use. So this is important to understand if something happens like that in your business. One example can be, for example, the marketing activities or other like those so-called dark pattern uses for the consumers when a company is detecting where there is some vulnerability of the user, for example, dyslexia. The system analyzed that the person most likely has dyslexia, and because of this assumption, it actually shows the information for this specific person in a different way. So in such way, this person is manipulated to do something that he most likely would not done. And this actually happens in real life. This is not like taken out of some books, but this is actually in practice. So this is why this is actually very important that this law has set those boundaries for the AI systems. Another penalties. If you thought that the penalties in GDPR are high, then this is the time when they are really high. So yeah, 35 million or up to 7% of total worldwide annual turnover, the same as in the GDPR. We know that not the local turnover, but the worldwide. So be careful. The 35 million and 7% is the highest. There is also a level a bit lower, but this is actually the penalty that you can get for the infringement of this one. So be careful. And if we look of the AI Act from business perspective, and then we also have to see maybe there will be some changes in the labor market because based on the AI Act, there will be companies who will have to implement and develop policies and internal documents for the not only use of the AI system, but also for the internal documentation for the AI systems that they develop. Like, for example, we know that the computer programs have manuals and other documentation. This comes along, so this is now also a mandatory for AI solutions. So, and then there will be need for people who will actually take care of the processes in the company, that we actually are in line with those internal documents, because, well, you know, paper can write down anything we want, but if we actually are in line with what is written. So it's like GDPR officers we have in the companies who actually take a look at our internal processes. So this will be actually the same. So I think that companies who are using AI, developing AI, and so on, there will be some changes in the employment structure, maybe in the company. But that's it from my side.
Thank you for tonight and for taking your time to come to us and giving your speech. We have some presents also from for you now or later on. But do you have any public questions to somebody of us, or we can move forward to the more informal setting with the coffee break, snacks, and some drinks? Any questions? Well, we can ask questions. Yeah, we can ask questions there. So thank you so much for tonight, for everybody who came and who participated. I hope everybody enjoyed coming here and talking or listening. And who are interested, we're very happy. We'll have very happy to see your applications at also RBS and students and also having your experience here at RBS. Thank you so much. So we welcome you to the other room to